Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is once again time to go racing with the street stocks tonight, coming to you from the Kansas Oval. This will be the first time that XCAL goes here, and it is a restrictor plate setup, so things will get a bit wild, a bit dicey, and man, they're going to be nose to tail, side by side, inches apart all night long. This race could come down to survival. Glad to see everybody here tonight. Hope everybody has a great night, has had a great day, and getting ready. We're going to be talking to all of you guys here in just a few moments. Thank you so much for the likes, comments, everything thus far. We will get with all of you, but first, let's talk to a few of the drivers, starting with the Mad Bear. And Matt, up for another wild night of racing, especially when you take street stocks and go drafting.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get, especially whenever you got people drafting down front stretch, back stretch, and if they're not lined up properly. I saw it in the heat races last night that we were swerving up and almost getting into each other, and people were being aware. But you know how everybody gets whenever we get to the end of the race. So everybody's going to be trying to be as aggressive as possible, and it's not easy to pass here. You definitely have to be aggressive with the moves that you're making. So even though we've only got a 20-car field, I think track position is going to be very important here tonight.
Well, it is going to be an interesting one for sure. Fuel strategy will obviously not come into play as much, and we know you're generally the guy that holds out as late as possible, but obviously not going to happen tonight. You've got to have some drafting help on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be crucial to come in whenever other people are pitting, unless they're just going that much less than I am. I do have a little bit of help tonight. I think Chris Johnson's going to run the 66 car tonight, and hopefully he'll be my guinea pig for me. But I know we're going to have to save a little bit of fuel if we do have to go green to checkered right here. So it's really just going to be about getting in line, riding around, and making these fools burn up their gas for me.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting night for sure. Good luck. Obviously, you are very close to locking up your title.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
The Mad Bear obviously ready to go, but he is going to have to fight off Octavio Rondoletto, who's won 5 of the last 6 races. Octavio, you are on a tear to this here recently.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, we have been working pretty well this season, especially in the last races, and I think I had 5 wins in the 6 or last 7 races, and that's strong for us because we are looking for it. We want to win here tonight. We will work with Flaming Karma as always, with Lautaro, my teammate, and yes, we are going for everything.
Oh man, you've been on a tear, like you said, 5 wins out of the last 6 races. Can you get a win here tonight as well?
Yeah, I really like this kind of tracks, especially with this cat. So this is a pretty race. Have fun, and I hope the people will stay for the finish. It will be wild as always.
Well, good luck tonight, buddy. Great run so far here in the last month or so, and hopefully that streak continues.
Thank you so much.
One of the fan favorites tonight will have to start from the back. Flying Ryan, you're starting from back of the field tonight. It's going to be a rough one getting to the front.
Yeah, it's going to be rough, but I'm planning on trying to get up there and get with my teammates and stay there until later on in the race.
Do you have a plan with your team to work to the front, or is it are you going to be playing it safe at all early on? A lot of times when you're plate racing, guys like to hang off the back early on.
Yeah, I think we all just kind of planned on what we did the last plate track, is just get together and just ride out until, you know, something happens, or lead a bunch of laps and win the race. Who knows? You know, it's a crapshoot at this track. Anything could happen.
Well, the Flying Ryan Seams fan club always comes out. Obviously, you and Nick, two of the most popular drivers out here, but I know you got some new merch. Will there be new merch after tonight?
If we win, possibly. There definitely could be. I know quite a few people who would probably pick up something like that if I won, and they like the merch, and I appreciate my fans for coming out to watch every week that we race and support XCAL and the league and stuff.
Well, man, I know we have not seen a Seams in victory lane all season. Hopefully that turns around tonight. Good luck, Flying Ryan.
Thank you, Doug.
As we've mentioned in recent weeks, Brent Mekas has been on a tear. Brent, you just keep seeming to get better. You've overcome, and especially in some recent races, overcome some stuff that most people would not have been able to overcome to come back and get some strong finishes.
Yeah, Doug, it's been rough. Actually, we had an off week last week, which probably was needed, and it's been an up and down week for me. Work, racing, total. So I'm hoping this, Kansas kind of equals out the field, makes everything an equal playing field, and if I can just stay clean, I think we got a real good shot at getting to the end.
I do know in these plate races, you tend to be up there toward the front. We've seen you up battling for the lead, leading laps, and close to winning on more than one occasion. Could tonight be the night?
Could be able to maybe knock Matt and Octavio off that. It could be. This could be, if any of the next couple of races that we have, this one could be the one that's the wild card that knocks Matt or Octavio off the top spot. I have just as much a shot as anybody. I think we got a good plan. I'm going to try to keep it up front. I think up front is just the place to be. Just seems like anytime running in the back, even if it's like a couple cars up, something stupid happens. So I'm going to try to keep it up front.
Well, man, good luck tonight. Obviously, you're getting stronger as this season goes on. Looking forward to seeing how you finish.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Hey, shout out to all my fans out there. Big shout out to you and Aaron for putting on these great shows. The web shop, Scarlet Revolt's got some new stuff. Aaron dropped a whole plethora of items that look actually pretty cool. So if you like Scarlet Revolt, go check it out. Have a good night, guys.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
And finally, driving with broken or cracked ribs, trying to recover from dog attack, it is Gerald Thanos Poole behind the wheel tonight. Gerald, first off, how are you feeling, buddy?
I definitely feel a lot better than I did a couple of weeks ago when I first did it, because I actually sat through the race after the fall, and then it wasn't until after that it was like, this is a little bit worse than I think it is, and went and had it checked out. And yeah, we kind of landed on a concrete block when I fell down, so that kind of give you an idea right in the center of my chest. So, but we're good. Looking forward to the race. We had an exciting heat race last night, and looking forward to having some fun in this XCAL race web shop series. And want to thank everybody out there. Check out the web shop, www.xcal.com, and man, butt kicker and everybody. So yeah, I'm excited to get this one going.
Well, I know plate racing is definitely your kind of thing. Good luck tonight, Thanos.
Thank you, man. Thank you for all you do.
All right, just a few seconds left to go. Then we are going plate racing here at Kansas. It's going to be a wild one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for. Octavio Rondoletto and Lataro on the front row. The Mad Bear and Jose Godino on the second row. Albie Hewen starts in fifth with Brent Mekas in sixth. Gerald Thanos Poole starting in seventh. Nick Seams, the college kid, starting in eighth. Carlos Ruiz starting in ninth with Jeff Edgar in 10th. John Friley starting in 11th with Sean Andrews in 12th. Joe Campbell starting in 13th. Derek Colson in 14th. Scott Gilliott, the only Stimulus Racing driver here tonight, starting in 15th. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel starts in 16th. Flying Ryan Seams starting in 17th. And Bowen Smith in 18th. Ryan Seams has to start tail into the field for a penalty at Oxford. He is planning on working his way forward all night long. Good luck tonight, Nicole. Hello to everybody. Kevin A., yeah, they have quite a few songs, but there's 2 we have permission to use, so we don't get copyright strikes for them. But there is more coming, and we will get to use those once that new album drops. Just a few minutes away from Kevin Gerard's house. Looks like the Flying Ryan Seams fan club is here tonight. Joaquin cheering on Ruiz and Leonardo cheering on Octavio Rondoletto. A packed house here tonight. Don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family. This is going to be fun. Here we go. Down the front straightaway. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Kansas. Off into turn 1, no big changes here in the early going. It takes about 3/4 of a lap to get these street stocks up to full speed. This is one of the few races of the season. Whoa! Jose Godino has a little bobble going into turn 3. One of the few restrictor plate races of the season. All the drivers have to run the same setup. The setup is locked. They have a limited amount of adjustments. Most of them they're not going to use. I don't think we'll see anybody using brake bias changes tonight. Lataro looks like he is going to drop to the back. Octavio still up front. And Sean Andrews, the J&S racer, has had a lot of struggles here recently. Hopefully he can turn it around here tonight. Good evening, Bobby Velez. Everybody that's hit that like button, we thank you so much. Don't forget to drop into the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. Getting word from Kevin Gerard that the barbecue behind turn 1, the barbecue stand behind turn 1 is the best place to get barbecue. Looks like Octavio, after having led a lap, is dropping back as well. Jose Godino and the Mad Bear currently on the front row. Did get word, Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel a little nervous coming into this one. Only her second ever XCAL start, hoping we see her up in the fight. She is one of those drivers extremely good in any kind of plate race, whether it be street stocks, trucks, Cup Series. She is always in contention. Daytona, Talladega, it does not matter. As we mentioned, Sean Andrews has had some really bad luck here recently. Sean currently has the fastest lap so far tonight. However, lap times will come down throughout the night as the sun goes down and the lights come up. Looks like the Mad Bear, having led a lap early, is dropping back. He did talk about fuel not being a huge concern here tonight. Most of these drivers looking between 85 and 90 laps for the fuel run. And Albie Hewins is going to come across and lead a lap. Great job by a guy who's been fighting his way forward in the points all season long. Albie currently 10th in points. Trying to maintain a gap on Lautaro and close the gap on Jose Godino. Also worth noting tonight, we mentioned it 2 weeks ago, tonight is Derek Colson's 101st XCAL start. Colson was having some technical difficulties during pre-race after a recent iRacing update, so hopefully he has got all that worked out. He is the all-time leader in XCAL starts, and right in front of him, Jose Godino is the leader in consecutive starts. Tonight is his 54th consecutive start. Just saw a little bit of a blink out of Sean Andrews. Sean up into 10th. Scott Gilliott, the lone Stimulus racing car, currently runs in 10th now. Brent Metcalf's got to lead a lap here now. Up on the high side, battling with Albie at the moment. The college kid second in line on the high side. Flying Ryan, who started tail into the field after a penalty from a restart at Oxford, has made his way into the top 10 as he comes by the Mad Bear on the high side. Nick Seams and Carlos Ruiz currently on the second row. Carlos Ruiz, this is his first start in XCAL competition, driving for Flaming Karma Racing. Also, Flaming Karma was supposed to have the 40 fielded by Jared Heasley. Tonight, Jared, technical issues, did not make the race. Hey, good evening, Russell. How you doing today, buddy? How's the arm, and will we see you in Nowski competition tomorrow? Gerald Poole up on the high side, currently in 6th place, trying to get that third line working. Joe Campbell moves up to go with him. After a week off, you have to wonder, J&S and Flaming Karma had some problems after Watkins Glen, a little bit of a rivalry brewing there. Have to wonder if that has calmed down or if there's still bitterness. Oh! Thanos got the wall! And Gerald's gonna drop back, drop back in line. No damage. But Russell, just take it easy and be ready for tomorrow night. And Carlos Ruiz, in his XCAL debut, will lead a lap. Five bonus points to the 131 car for Flaming Karma. Very real possibility we could see every single car lead a lap here. And look who's made his way into the top 5. Flying Ryan slides in behind the boss. Despite a lot of three-wide racing here in the early going, not seeing anybody having got into trouble yet. Joe Campbell on the high side with the push from Flying Ryan, trying to get up here and lead a lap. Joe having missed a couple of races mid-season due to technical issues, trying to make up some ground here tonight. And Joe gets nudged ahead into the lead. Will he be able to hold the lead to the start-finish line and lead a lap here? With the push from Flying Ryan, Joe Campbell now leads a lap. Looks like about the top 7 or 8 side by side. Then back behind everybody single file. Looking to save a little bit of fuel here on the first run and see what they can do. Most of the teams saying between 85 and 90 laps. A lot of them saying right around 88 is about where the limit is. And some of these drivers drop into the back, getting in that draft, able to keep their foot out of the throttle and maintain pace. They're going to be able to hang on. Maybe extend a lap or two every single run. Even one lap per run would make a huge difference here tonight. Martina out here cheering on Carlos Ruiz as Joe Campbell drops to the bottom. He's going to fall to the back, and Flying Ryan Seams now heads to the lead. And Derek Colson on the high side, he wants a piece of it. It is Carlos at the line. Colson all alone in that third lane has had one heck of a run. Scott Gilliott also on a mission tonight. He is up into the top 5. One of Scott's best runs of the season. Oh, Flying Ryan drifts up a little bit out of turn 4. Colson's going to try and squeeze there, 4 wide. And now Sean Andrews there in the wall. Caution is out. Lap 19. And several top contenders involved in this incident. There you see Colson looks to the high side, Sean on the bottom. Sean just pushes up a little bit, gets into Flying Ryan. Colson gets collected. Ryan and Albie Hewins hard into the wall. Jose Godino ends up in the wall. Flying Ryan has had to tow to pit road. Jeff Edgar involved. Bowen Smith also catching a piece of that one, and what a dramatic turn of events here in the early going. Flying Ryan is on pit road. Remember, they do not have fast repairs in XCAL. He will have to wait it out to get the repairs he needs, as it looks like everybody else is coming in. Mark, I have to agree, that was a really gutsy move. Albie Hewins missing the entire front clip. Guys still trying to get themselves sorted out as they come toward pit road. And Albie's car may have just died. Albie had to tow. What a turn of events. Flying Ryan was feeling really good about tonight's race. Everybody on pit road for tires and fuel. Carlos Ruiz, first one off pit road. The rookie, man, he is on fire already tonight. Russell, buddy, I will be happy to hook you up. I know a couple of teams that would love to have you. Well, this was definitely an unexpected change here in the early going. Sean Andrews still sitting on pit road. Derek Colson, Albie Hewins, Flying Ryan, all on pit road. Everybody else has completed stops. Jose Godino, Octavio Rondoletto, and Lataro, all three back in pit road to top off on fuel. Sean Andrews is back out. Looks like he is going to lose a lap. Lights are out on the pace truck. I don't know if we'll get an extension here. As it looks like something may have gone wrong with the scoring. We're showing Scott Gilliott in the lead. We'll have to wait for the green flag. Hey, good evening, Richie West. Pace truck about to drop in on the restart. Scott Gilliott, John Freely on the front row. They do have to wait for the drop of the green flag. Green flag is back in the air. Looks like those 3 drivers ahead of Carlos did not come to pit road. Nicole Creasel on the tail end of the pit of the lead lap, along with Nick the college kid Seams, trying to keep Carlos behind him. And they're already 3 wide again mid-pack as everybody tries to sort out. Matt Bear has got a huge run through 3 and 4 up to the high side on Carlos. Hey, good evening, Mark Dantuma. Matt Bear just set the fastest lap as he looks to come on the high side on Nicole Creasel. Uses Nicole as a pick on Carlos, and Matt Bear goes to the lead. Nicole currently the first car, 1 lap down, only 3 cars. Nicole Creasel, Nicholas Seams, and Sean Andrews 1 or more lap down. Looks like Albie Hewins may be done for the night. Derek Colson and Flying Ryan both still on pit road. Hey, good evening, Danny. How are you? Gerald Poole, who we saw in the wall earlier on in the race, just set the fastest lap, the only lap under 38 seconds so far tonight, as he works his way through the field. But as we mentioned earlier on, as the sun goes down and the lights come on, the track temperature will go down and the speeds will go up. Gerald now back up into 6th place. Danny, you're going to have to do something about that. I know the team misses having you. Matt Bear currently pushing Jeff Edgar around the track. Jeff Edgar and Joe Campbell up on the high side, the last 2 cars on the lead lap, trying to maintain that lead lap and hope for a caution. Derek Colson appears to be done for the night. So already 3 drivers out of the race. Derek Colson, Albie Hewins, and Flying Ryan Seams. Meanwhile, the rookie Carlos Ruiz on the high side on Matt Bear, giving a push to Joe Campbell. Carlos back to the lead. And he helps push Joe clear of traffic. Danny, just make the team bigger. Carlos Ruiz on the high side, now clears the lap car of Joe Campbell and Jeff Edgar. He has actually got a couple cars between him and second place, Matt Baer, but Scott Gilliott on the high side is now to second place. Gilliott definitely on a tear here tonight, his best run of the season thus far. It is worth mentioning, it has been over a year since we have seen a rookie in victory lane. Could tonight be the night with Carlos Ruiz? Brent Mekas now up into fourth place, battling with the Mad Bear. John Friley in fifth, Octavio in sixth, Lataro in seventh, Gerald Thanos Pool in eighth, Jose Godino back in ninth, Bowen Smith back in 10th. Bowen Smith does have to watch himself closely here tonight. He started the night tail end of the field due to an EOL, and he starts the night with a strike, so any mistake could have him out of the race early. Getting word, Albie Hewen said once they put a new motor in, if the race isn't over, he will be back out on track. And Kevin Gerard has directions from the track to the medical center in case any of the drivers need it. That outside line really seems to be working quite well here tonight. We saw Carlos make the move to the high side, pass everybody to take the lead. Now Scott Gilliott solo up top has managed to get himself in second, just one car between him and the leader. Nicole Creasel now at 3 spots into 13th. Bowen Smith, despite being alone with no help, currently running in 10th, up 8 spots. But again, he has really got to mind his P's and Q's here tonight. Some of the drivers talked about the potential for this one to be a long green flag run. There was even talk about the possibility of this one going green to checkers. Obviously, with one early caution, that is not going to happen. But we could very well see this go green the remainder of the night. Bowen Smith currently in 10th, still on the lead lap, but just barely. Carlos Ruiz is closing in on him to put him a lap down. Did hear from the heats last night that this track is going to get really racy when they get down to the end of the race. Everybody starts battling. As we've seen, that high line working really well, and it doesn't take much to make some moves happen here tonight. Brent Meck is holding on to a top 5 run currently in 4th. What about John Friley, who's currently running in 5th? A great start to the night, and he caught a little piece of that early incident. Looks like everybody has settled into a rhythm for the time being. Jeff Edgar peeked out briefly in the 7 car. Jeff currently running in 11th place. Carlos definitely not saving any fuel being out front, but man, what a run so far tonight for Carlos. Oh, getting word, the college kid did catch a small bit of that early incident. He had 20 seconds of damage. That is what put him a lap down here in the early going. And as it stands right now, he is outside the window. If the caution comes out, he is actually outside the window of getting the wave around. Currently, the 3 wave around cars are Joe Campbell, Jeff Edgar, and Nicole. That's what she said, Creasel. Scott Gilliott currently running in 2nd place. Both of the other 2 Gilliotts not in the field tonight. Have not heard where Adam and Jeremy Gilliott are. But Scott Gilliott carrying the whole team tonight, doing an amazing job. Right now running in 2nd. He has not had a top 10 finish all season long. Tonight could be the night. Nicole Creasel looks like she has fallen out of that lead draft pack just a little bit. Surprised to see her down a lap here early on. She did lose the draft here early, but Nick Seams catching up. These two should be able to pull back up there pretty easily if they work together. Nicole always a contender. Places like Daytona and Talladega in the bigger cars, so you know she knows how to win in the draft. Lead pack, really, they're single file, but they're not staying tight together. Does give these other groups back behind, like Nicole and Nick Seams, and anybody that Bowen Smith can connect with, does give some of these drivers an opportunity if they can keep their group packed up and closing in. They definitely have a chance. And before we get to our first green flag stops, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss a thing. Stay with us. Welcome back. Don't forget to tune in next week. We go from plate racing to short track racing as XCAL goes back to Bristol Motor Speedway, and that is always a bit crazy. Multiple grooves around that track, just over half a mile long. Things will definitely get exciting and tempers will definitely flare. Carlos still has the lead, followed by Scott Gillian in second, the Mad Bear in third. Britt Mecca still holding on to fourth, Lataro now up into fifth, Octavio in sixth, Gerald Thanos Poole in seventh, John Friley in eighth, Jose Godino in ninth, and Joe Campbell in 10th. Joe currently the first car, one lap down. All right, JR, we'll do, buddy. Hope everything's okay. These cars definitely not planted here tonight. You see how much they're moving around. Not only do they have to pull out to keep the engine cooled off, but the car just wants to move around so much. Let top on the nose of 8th place, John Friley at the back of that lead draft. The car's handling the bumps. This track is pretty smooth, but you see it. You hear the tires squealing as he goes into 3. You see cars just moving out of line here and there. Finally gets a big run out of turn 4. Back down out of turn 2, he closes back in. You see the draft at work. He's able to close right up to the back bumper. Oh, JR, does it have anything to do with what we were talking about last week? Carlos Ruiz in the lead has actually opened a little bit of breathing room on Scott Gilliott with help from Joe Campbell. Matt Bear sitting back in 3rd, Brent Mackes in 4th, Lataro currently running in 5th. Every driver in the field stopped on lap 21 under that caution. A few, however, did drop back in to get that extra lap of fuel. Matt Bear dropped back in lap 23. Lataro and Octavio both dropped in on lap 22. Bowen Smith, who is not on the lead lap, also pitted on lap 23, hoping to make up some ground. Jeff Edgar currently in 11th, trying to fight his way back in front of Carlos. See if he can unlap himself before they go to pit road again, or before a caution comes out. Edgar, quite a run up on the high side. We've seen several drivers be able to make a move up top with no help. Joe Campbell pulling up. Hey, Bobby, thank you so much for the stars, buddy. It really helps. We really appreciate it. And it looks like Edgar lost his momentum there through 3 and 4. Scott Gilliott, though, was able to pull right back up to Joe's back bumper. And it looks like Jeff Edgar may be having a little problem through 1 and 2. That car was just not very planted. Sean Andrews is on pit road. This is an unscheduled pit stop. This is way, way early. I don't see Sean. It looks like he may be getting repairs. Don't see the tires up. Jeff Edgar is going to look like he was going to make another attempt on the high side to get back on the lead lap, but couldn't get the momentum. Don't be surprised, though, if later in this race, or later in this run, rather, Jeff Edgar hops to the high side, the Mad Bear goes with him. The two of them could easily work together to put Edgar back on the lead lap and the Mad Bear into the lead. Jose Godino all alone back in 9th place. He is about 2/3 of a lap back. He is the last car currently on the lead lap. And the leaders are coming closer and closer every lap. Jose really needs a caution. Bowen Smith, who's already a couple of laps down, about to have the leaders on him. Bowen moves up the track, lets all the leaders come by below. Looks like everybody has found their rhythm, at least for the time being. Lautaro and Octavio nose to tail. Back in 5th and 6th, we have seen this combo before. Those two definitely know how to work their way to the front together without any help. I have no idea, Kevin. Matt Bear is still holding on to 3rd. Remember, he is the points leader coming into tonight. His points lead just shy of 400 points. Matt Bear just a few races away from locking up his first XCAL title. Next week is Bristol, followed by Martinsville, the Charlotte Legends Oval, and finally finishing out the season October 10th at Charlotte. The top 3 single file, but between all of them, there is at least one lap car. Oh, we keep seeing Jeff Edgar look like he is going to pop out and try and make a move up on the high side to reclaim the lead lap. He made one attempt at it, but was unsuccessful. Pit road entry here tonight should be fairly easy. The pit road entry at Kansas is wide, and these cars should be able to get woed up fairly easily, meaning the drivers can take a more aggressive pit road entry tonight. Sean Andrews is still sitting on pit road. Not sure what is up with that car tonight. Definitely sounds like it, Kevin. Brent Mecca is still running in the top 5, currently in 4th place. Another great run for Brent here tonight. Brent came in tonight 7th in points, just under 100 points behind Jeff Edgar. Jeff currently running in 11th, 1 lap down. Brent could make up some ground on his T-motor tonight. You know, tire wear generally is not an issue in these type of races, but Scott Gilliott looks like that car is getting hard to hold on to. Carlos in his debut race continuing just to lay down laps out front. Nicole Kriesel, Bowen Smith, and now Nick Seams have gotten hooked up. Can those 3 cars begin to close the gap on the lead pack? We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going side by side. You will not miss a thing. When we come back, we'll be just a few laps away from the first round of green flag pit stops. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. Don't forget, next Tuesday night, XCAL returns, coming to you from Bristol. Short track racing tempers will flare. Don't forget to take a moment, hit that like, follow, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family to come out and watch what promises to be the best race of the season. Don't forget to take a moment, check out the XCAL Racing web shop, xcalracing.com. Get all your XCAL Racing gear, including, rumor has it, some Brent Mekas gear coming soon. And of course, your Seams Fan Club gear, JNS Racing gear, Flaming Karma Racing, and so much more. XCalRacing.com/shop for all your XCAL Racing needs. Doing some quick math here, and it looks like with that early caution, if our fuel numbers are correct, this will be a 2-stop race. And one of those stops, they may be able to, if they conserve a little fuel, may be able to have a very quick pit stop. It will depend on fuel management and tire usage, but some of these guys might be able to stretch this out even more. Carlos, however, will not be able to. He has been out front most of the night. Carlos still in the lead. Scott Gilliott in second. Matt Bear in third. Brent Mekas fourth. Lataro in fifth. Octavio in sixth. Gerald Poole in seventh. John Friley in eighth. All in the lead pack with a couple of lap cars mixed in there. Jose Godino in ninth has almost got the leaders up to him. Joe Campbell currently in 10th, positioned himself between first and second place. Jeff Edgar in 11th, positioned himself between second and third place. Nick the College Kid and Nicole That's What She Said Creasel have now connected. They're trying to make up some ground. Sean Andrews still sits on pit road. Bowen Smith way behind at the moment. And I just noticed it looks like Bowen may actually have more right front damage on that car. He does. Best guess, we are less than 20 laps from the next round of pit stops, maybe even less for some of these drivers. As Carlos closes in on 9th place, Jose Godino. Here's a really interesting note. Nick, the college kid, seems has the highest top speed of anybody tonight at 160 miles an hour. Several drivers that have done 156, 154, almost everybody over 150 for a top speed. But the college kid, way up there, 160 miles an hour. Jeff Edgar looking to the high side once again, trying to unlap himself as they catch up to Jose Godino. I think Edgar's going to do it. Great timing and strategy by Jeff Edgar. He has put himself back on the lead lap ahead of the leaders. And moved himself back up into the top 10. He is currently scored in 9th. Jose Godino trying to fight to hold on to that position on the bottom. Hey, good evening, Jared Heasley. Carlos now going to the high side, has the push from Joe Campbell, but here comes Scott Gilliott on the bottom. That bigger line down low. But they do have the lap car, Bowen Smith, who will come into play. Bowen moves up to the high side. As Carlos comes flying along, Scott Gilliott goes to the lead. Carlos and Joe losing a little bit of ground here in the mix. Scott Gilliott is scored with leading a lap. And I do believe that is Scott Gilliott's first lap led in XCAL competition. It indeed is. That was Scott Gilliott's first time leading a lap in XCAL competition. Congratulations to Scott. Now with lap cars out ahead of the leaders, they can defend that position. Taking a look from the XCAL blimp. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, as the Nowski Nation returns. More great truck racing as that season winds down, and after last week's races, points got a lot tighter. Thursday night, we do have the community convoy. If you're on American Truck Sim, come join us, have some fun and laughs. Friday night, the How to Suck at iRacing Friday Fun League is back. What kind of chaos can I come up with this week? Sunday morning, GT3 NSS new season begins. Several familiar names will be in that battle. Sunday evening, BRR Cup Series playoff continues. It is an elimination race as they prepare for the end of the season. Monday night, Jones BS Racing returns with the Legends and the Late Model Series. Both series have seen crazy amounts of competition. And of course, next Tuesday night, we will have XCAL back at Bristol. Don't forget to tune in during the days, as we always have something going on to keep you folks entertained. Make sure you're following How to Suck at iRacing on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. John Friley has come to pit road, and he's coming in alone. No, Bowen Smith is in. Bowen not on the lead lap. Friley was. This pit stop a bit off cycle, about 10 laps early, maybe. Jeff Edgar and Jose Godino have managed to keep themselves at the tail end of the lead lap. Can they extend that fuel mileage? Potentially fight their way back into this battle for the win. Jose Godino is checked up going into 3. Matt Bear, Brent Mackus have now caught up to Scott Gilliott. Jeff Edgar out front all alone, and Carlos is on pit road. Jose Godino is on pit road. It looks like green flag stops are underway. Joe on the high side's got a big run trying to get himself up there to Jeff Edgar and get himself back on the lead lap as well. And look at this, Joe side drafts his way past the leader, but Scott Gilliott gives Edgar a big bump into turn 3. And Matt Bear goes by on the high side and is going to reclaim the lead. Scott Gilliott drops into the apron. Looks like he may be signaling he's coming to pit road. Lataro and Octavio on the high side. They are coming in. Brent Mackus is coming in. Jeff Edgar is in. Matt Bear, Lataro, Octavio, Gerald Poole. The only lead lap cars staying out, as well as Joe Campbell who is trying to get himself back to the lead lap. Matt Bear, Lataro, Octavio, and Gerald have been lurking back there as Joe comes in. Gerald Poole also headed in. These three have been lurking mid-pack, saving fuel. Also, these are the three that did top off under caution. Matt moves up to the high side. Lataro and Octavio fly by. And all three continue to stretch that fuel mileage a little bit further. Carlos, Jose, John Friley, all three off pit road, having completed their first green flag stop. And here comes Octavio and Lataro. The Mad Bear is going to go one more time. The question really becomes, how much momentum does Matt Bear lose doing a lap out here without any drafting help? And here he comes, the Mad Bear, the last driver to hit pit road. Brent Mackes now on his way out. Scott Gilliott on his way out. Both drivers trying to get back out into position to reclaim the lead. But Carlos comes by both of them with Godino right behind him. Gerald Poole now on his way off pit road as the college kid comes by. Carlos and Godino about 13 seconds behind Gerald Poole. Looks like Gerald had a very quick pit stop, about 10 seconds faster than everybody else. Did he get enough fuel is the question. Octavio and Lataro begin their roll off pit road. Matt Bear still in, trying to get his stomp completed. Matt Bear still on pit road. Gerald Poole may claim the lead here, and he does through turn 2. Next time by, Gerald Thanos Pool will lead for the first time tonight. Matt Bear has begun to roll off pit road. Octavio and Lataro closing in. Carlos and Jose Godino back in 5th and 6th, also closing the gap. Gerald's lead now about 11 seconds over the Mad Bear. But that bigger group will be able to catch him really quickly. They also have the lap car of Joe Campbell and Jeff Edgar right in front of them. Meanwhile, Gerald Poole is closing in on the college kid. Could get a little bit of help there. Now that pit stops have been completed, let's see where your favorite drivers are. Let's go through the field, starting with new leader Gerald Thanos Poole. Started in 7th, he is known as one of the best at plate track racing. Currently in the lead with a big gap, but the field behind will reel him in. Lataro currently running in 2nd. Him and Octavio have been quiet all night, but now they may start to attack. The Mad Bear, the points leader, currently in 3rd place. Just trying to get a top 5 run, extend his points lead here tonight. Octavio Rondoletto currently running in 4th place, has won 5 out of the last 6 races. Could he do it again here tonight? Rookie Carlos Ruiz, currently running in 5th, has been on fire. What a rookie start so far, has the most laps led. Jose Godino currently running in 6th. Jose, another one known for strategy and plate racing. This could be his night to return to victory lane. John Friley having a great night tonight as well, currently running in 7th after starting in 11th, just quietly creeping his way up through the field. Brett Mack is currently sitting in 8th place, has been in the top 5 most of the night, lost a little ground on pit road, expect to see him back up there. Scott Gilliott lost a lot of ground on pit road. He is now back in 9th, still up 6 spots, but Scott had been up front leading part of this race. Jeff Edgar currently running in 10th, trying to maintain the lead lap. Still holding on to a 10th place run. Joe Campbell currently in 11th. Working with Jeff Edgar, both drivers trying to get back around and get back to the lead lap. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel currently in 12th place, working with Nick the college kid Seams. They are trying to reel in the cars ahead. The college kid caught a piece of that early incident on lap 19, currently in 13th, no longer on the lead lap, but trying to fight his way back. Bowen Smith appears to be out of the race. Sean Andrews still sits on pit road. Derek Colson out of the race. Albie Hewins is scored out of the race, but if his engine gets replaced, he said he would be back. Flying Ryan Seams taken out in that lap 19 caution as well. It looks like Gerald Poole has caught up to Nicole. That's what she said, Greasel. And Nick, the college kid, seems he'll have a little bit of help. Might be able to slow down Lataro gaining on him. They are currently 9.5 seconds back. But with some help from the college kid and Nicole, who knows what could happen from here. Matt Bear wisely has himself positioned between Lataro and Octavio. Those two together, a very, very powerful combination and very tough to beat, as we have seen all season long. Carlos, the rookie, is pulling a bunch of top XCAL drivers back toward that lead group. Carlos now just 1.3 seconds behind Octavio. The college kid to the high side, letting Nicole and Gerald go by. He'll slip in behind. Can these three cars hold off the big pack back behind? Don't forget to check out the XCAL Racing web shop, xcalracing.com/shop, for all your XCAL Racing gear needs. There's new items every single week. And hey, who knows? We could have all new gear after tonight. Special thanks to Sim Racer Hub, where we get all of our XCAL Racing driver statistics. Sim Racer Hub, you can find a link on xcalracing.com. Get all your favorite driver statistics there. And if you're looking to dip your feet into the XCAL pond, check out the Monday night XCAL Dash Series. Same tracks as they run Tuesday nights, but different cars out there on track in a shorter race. A lot of fun and a little bit of money if you can pull off a win. You can find out everything about it at xcalracing.com. Looks like a little bit of a change in that second pack, as John Friley, with a big push from Brent Mackes, pulling ahead of Carlos Ruiz and Jose Godino. They had been gaining on that pack just ahead of them, but while they're side by side, Octavio, Lataro, and the Mad Bear starting to open up a gap again. Meanwhile, Gerald's lead is starting to shrink just a little bit, now down to 7.6 seconds. The college kids staying side by side with Nicole, not helping them catch back up. Martina, I do believe Carlos is not out of this fight yet. They are closing in. Despite being side by side, they are still gaining time on Gerald Poole. And they are actually gaining ground on the pack ahead all of a sudden. I think if they get back to single file, they will close the gap on those two packs ahead very, very quickly. Gerald Poole, though, at least for the moment, content to ride behind Nicole and Nick, the college kid, seems. Highly likely Gerald is using this opportunity to save some fuel. That second pack is closing in, though, now 6.3 seconds behind. And the third pack just 1.5 seconds behind Octavio. Wow, Mecca's made a gutsy move down in front of Friley. That was a bit on the close side, but they finally get back single file and immediately gained 1/10 of a second, now 1.4 seconds behind Rondoletto. Meanwhile, Thanos' lead now down to 5.8 seconds. Gerald continuing to try and push Nicole clear of the college kid. Matt Bear, we saw stretch the fuel on that first big green flag run. Currently sitting between Lautaro and Octavio, just riding along at the moment. With 4 races left to go, it's going to be very, very difficult for anybody to pass the Mad Bear. Looking at the points coming into tonight, Matt Bear's lead just shy of 400 points over Flying Ryan. The college kid another 200 points back. And Jeremy Gilliott about 100 points behind, although missing tonight's race is definitely gonna hurt. Sean Andrews, despite technical difficulties once again, holding on to 5th place. Gerald's lead now down to 4 1/4 seconds. as that lead continues to shrink. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll go side by side. You will not miss a thing. Stay with us, folks. And we are back. Gerald Poole continues to lead, but the gap now down to 2.25 seconds. And Carlos Ruiz on the high side, making his way back toward the front. That second pack is caught back up, and they are marching. Carlos immediately caught him and just took off. Now using a side draft, he is going to come by Lataro. Joe Campbell, his car owner, just ahead on the bottom. We saw how well these two worked together during the first half of this race. Will Joe pull out and work with his driver once again? Meanwhile, they are just 1.25 seconds ahead of Gerald Poole. Really surprised to see Nick trying to fight side by side with this group. He could have stayed in line, led the pack around, and possibly helped keep the distance, maybe even closing some of the gap to regain the lead lap. But it looks like Nick Seams is going to end up losing another lap along with Nicole Creasel here in just a few seconds. As the college kid moves way up high and lets that big pack come on by. Gerald Poole looks like he has led all the laps he wants to for the moment. He jumps to the high side. And Ruiz back to the lead. Jeff Edgar jumps up to the high side right in front of Ruiz. He is going to try and get himself back to the lead lap. Jeff Edgar now once again back on the lead lap, just ahead of the leader. And Carlos Ruiz slides right in behind Jeff Edgar. He's going to give him a push down the back straightaway. Here comes the Mad Bear now in second. Gerald Poole slides into line in third place. Has help from behind. Lataro and Octavio back with him. The college kid on the high side. Nicole drops to the back. She dropped off the lead pack for the moment. The college kid still trying to find a way to fight his way back to the front, possibly get one of his laps back. Matt Bear currently sitting in second. Gerald Poole, after leading a bunch of laps after pit stops, in third. But remember, Gerald did have a shorter pit stop. I'm sure Gerald saved fuel on that earlier run. Now trying to save some more. Hoping to not get too far off cycle. Lataro and Octavio now back together, nose to tail. Brent Mekas back up into sixth. John Friley in seventh. Jose Godino in eighth. Scott Gilliott, after leading quite a bit earlier, all the way back to ninth and off the lead draft. Jeff Edgar currently sits in 10th. He is just barely on the lead lap. Looks like everybody has just settled back in for the time being until the next pit stop. Then things will heat up dramatically. They will only need one more pit stop tonight. And most of these drivers will be able to go the distance at right. Holy cow, what happened to Jeff Edgar? Edgar has fought really hard to stay at the tail end of the lead lap all night, but just hops up and is drifting back. Right around lap 170 is the window. Once they pass that, everybody can go the distance on fuel. And then it just becomes a question of when do they stop? Do they run it to the last drop, or do they go as soon as possible? Pit stop timing and strategy could be the deciding factor here tonight. Carlos briefly lost the lead. Matt Bear slipped by, but now on that highlight, somehow Carlos is able, not even using the side draft, to pull himself back alongside. And just shoots himself back to the lead out of turn 2. And you know what we have not done quite yet tonight? It's about time to crank it up when they come back around to the start-finish line. We'll stop talking. Crank up your volume, folks. It's time to get really, really loud. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Crank it up. That is always a lot of fun. Matt Bear has reclaimed the lead. Carlos drops back in line in second. Nick Seams on the high side trying to get one of his laps back. And it looks like Joe Campbell has hopped to the high side. He's going to give the college kid a hand here. The points leader back in the lead, but look at this. Carlos is going to shoot back to the high side. Drop in behind the two lap cars and see if he can close the gap. All three of those cars, members of the J&S Consortium, and they do pull Carlos back into the lead. Matt Bear still holds on to second. Gerald Thanos Poole in third, but Gerald has help behind from Lataro and Octavio. Matt Bear just riding along. He doesn't have to win any of the remaining races. Just needs top 5 finishes. Jose Godino is on pit road. It looks like he thinks he can go the distance from here. Roughly 91 laps to go. We know several of these drivers had topped off on that caution, were able to extend 2 and 3 laps further. Will we see fuel mileage stretched, or are we going to see a lot of drivers pitting in the next 10 laps for the last time? The 3 J&S cars out front. But Nick the college kid seems and Joe Campbell not on the lead lap. However, Joe now technically is at the tail end of the lead lap as Carlos Ruiz sitting right behind him leading the race. Jose Godino is back out on track, but no drafting help, all alone. Depending on the strategy, we could see Gerald Poole in by himself. We know he's took a lighter fuel load on that last stop. But he has help from Octavio and Lataro right behind him. Meanwhile, our leader, Carlos Ruiz, currently has help from 2 of his J&S teammates. Scott Gilliott still holds on to 8th place had a great run earlier in the night, up front leading, the only Stimulus racing car on track tonight. Matt Bear has started dropping back. He may be coming to pit road in a moment. Now Gerald Thanos Poole up to second place. And as we get ready for the next round of pit stops, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll go side by And we are back. Nobody else has been to pit road, but they are all now within the window. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday night. XCAL returns to Bristol. There are going to be a lot of bumpers used and a lot of tempers flaring. Carlos Ruiz, the rookie, still has the lead, followed by Gerald Poole, Lataro, Octavio, and the Mad Bear. Scott Gilliott, who had been out alone, now comes to pit road. This will be Gilliott's final stop of the night. Brent Meckes, John Friley, Joe Campbell, Jeff Edgar round out the lead lap cars. Joe Campbell and Jeff Edgar sitting right at the tail end at the moment. Joe Campbell trying to keep himself back on the lead lap, hoping for a caution that might give him a chance to race for the win here. Nick, the college kid, seems trying to get one of his laps back. If the caution were to come out, he could get both back. JR, nope, I am terrible at it. Have you seen me play Call of Duty? You don't want me playing Warzone. Oh, nice. Gerald Poole still sitting in second. We do expect him on pit road earlier than the rest of the field. Do not expect him to run a full fuel run. But with most of these drivers stopping between lap 102 and 110, should be seeing them in just about any time. Looking from inside Carlos Ruiz's car, his pit crew will need to clean that windshield on his final stop. He sits right behind his two teammates at the moment. And you can hear the tires squealing. Despite the limited tire wear here tonight, these cars just do not want to grip. All the cars just about on the edge of spinning out, getting loose here. If Carlos pulls off the win here tonight, could we see him back in XCAL competition in the future? Matt Bear has dropped low. He might be... It looked like he was trying to run up underneath Octavio, but backed out of it. Now putting a bit of a gap, he may be preparing to come in for that final stop. The drivers have to be extremely careful on this final stop as they all are within the window not to get any kind of penalty tonight. especially those 8 cars still on the lead lap. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel is on pit road. Nick Seams, despite being 2 laps down, still has the fastest lap of the night, a 37.88. But as of right now, the college kid runs in 10th place. And if this thing stays green, will not be able to get back to the lead lap. He needs a couple of cautions. Gerald Poole has dropped low. Looks like he is coming in. Jeff Edgars, or John Friley rather, is following him in. Lataro now moves up to second. Octavio in third. And here comes Carlos. Here comes Nick, the college kid. Joe Campbell staying out. Lataro goes to the lead. Octavio right on his bumper. They are hooked up. They were 2 of the drivers that were able to extend that fuel run. They are going to try and put some space between them and the Mad Bear. Brent Metcalf now in 4th. Joe being scored in 5th. Octavio just set the fastest lap of the race. .37.8. The track is definitely getting faster, and these 2 combined, almost unbeatable. Jeff Edgar still in 6th. Jose Godino after his stop, currently running in 8th. Gerald Poole begins his roll off pit road. John Friley now on his way off pit road will come out right in front of the leaders. Gerald Poole comes out right behind Jose Godino. Jose currently scored in 7th. Jeff Edgar is in Brent Mekas is in. Matt Bear still hanging with Octavio and Lataro. Joe Campbell still staying out. He has not been in yet, along with the top three. Joe Curley scored in fourth, no longer on the lead lap, but has been trying to keep himself in position if the caution comes out. The rookie Carlos Ruiz comes off pit road and he is alone. Jose Godino not far behind though. Now it's just down to the pit strategy of the top three and what plays out here over the next few laps. Joe Campbell is in pit road. Jose Godino currently scored in fifth, Mekas in sixth, Carlos in seventh, Gerald Poole in eighth, John Friley in ninth, and Scott Gilliott in 10th. These three drivers and their pit stops could be the deciding factor here tonight. Matt Bear will be able to stretch. No, he's going to come in with them this time. All three are in. Matt almost gets the back bumper on Octavio. Joe Campbell begins his roll off pit road. A couple of very close calls. The rookie Carlos Ruiz all alone, 14 seconds behind Brent Mekas. Jose Godino another 21 and a half seconds ahead. Jeff Edgar and Scott Gilliott now battle for ninth place. Gilliott's going to pull ahead. Edgar slips into the draft right behind. They're going to set their sights on John Friley about 18 seconds ahead. Jose Godino had a very, very short pit stop compared to everybody else. He was over 30 seconds faster than the rest of the field. Will he have enough fuel? And Jose has gone to the lead. Jose came in tonight 9th in points, trying to close the gap on Joe Campbell. 8th in points. Jose lets Gerald go by, and Jose is back on pit road. He did not have enough fuel. Matt Bear looks like he is going to take the lead here. Matt has a 7.5 second lead on Lataro and Octavio. Brent Mackes back in 4th. Carlos Ruiz will be back in 5th. But most of this field now very much split up. Lataro and Octavio about 7.25 seconds behind the Mad Bear. With 55 laps to go, they should be able to close that gap. Looking through the field to see any other groups, Gerald Poole and Nick, the college kid, seem could connect. This could definitely help both drivers, as the college kid now has a shot at 11th place, Jose Godino. And he could help pull Gerald Poole up to Carlos Ruiz. Matt Bear, meanwhile, his lead continues to shrink. Lataro and Octavio 6.5 seconds back. Last time by, they were half a second a lap faster. Jose Godino has begun to roll off pit road, but not before the college kid got by to take 11th. Matt Bear still has the lead, but half a second a lap faster are these two cars as they begin to close that gap. Gerald Poole was unable to hang with Nick, the college kid, is now not gaining any ground on Carlos Ruiz, but John Friley is closing in. Meanwhile, Matt Bear is closing in on Jose Godino. He is going to have a little bit of drafting help here in a minute. Now that pit stops are complete, let's take another run through the field. The Mad Bear currently has the lead, has some drafting help from lap cars. He is the current points leader, could definitely use a win to secure that title. Lataro currently sitting in second place, has Octavio right behind him in third. These two teammates work extraordinarily well together. They are reeling in the leader. Brent Mackes back in fourth, now has some drafting help from some lap cars, trying to close in on the cars ahead, but keep the cars behind back there. The rookie Carlos Ruiz currently running in 5th place. Carlos has had a stellar rookie race. Been up front, led quite a few laps, and looking at a top 5 finish. John Friley has gotten by Gerald Poole to take 6th place. Friley has had a big night, up 5 spots from 11th. Gerald Poole has dropped back into 7th place, about to connect with Jose. Get a little bit of drafting help from Jose Godino and the Mad Bear to see if he can close back on and possibly pull off a top 5. Jeff Edgar currently running in 8th place, trying to run down Thanos. Jeff having another great night here tonight. Scott Gilliott, one of his best races of the season, currently in 9th place, has led laps and been in the fight most of the night. Joe Campbell currently in 10th place, all alone for the moment, had managed to hold himself at the tail end of the lead lap up until the final stop. The college kid currently sits in 11th place, continuing to pick up a spot here and there, trying to reel in the boss to get a top 10 tonight. Jose Godino currently at 12th, trying to reel in the college kid at the moment after an unexpected pit stop. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel currently running in 13th. Only her 2nd XCAL start, having a great run in 13th. Bowen Smith out of the race, Sean Andrews out of the race, Derek Colson out of the race, Albie Hewins and Flying Ryan Seams all out of the race early. Lataro and Octavio continue to reel in the Mad Bear. They are 3 seconds behind, but that 2-car pack now has to contend with a 4-car pack. Matt Bear giving Jose a big push here. Will his 4-car pack be able to build enough momentum to keep Lataro and Octavio at bay? Remember, these two, we've seen them work together most of the season, and every time we get to one of these plate races, if these two get together, they can reel in anybody. And what about the rookie in the 131 car, Carlos Ruiz? Man, what a show this young man has put on tonight. Currently running in 5th. As we mentioned, he led a lot of laps early in the race. Definitely has a great future in XCAL competition if he chooses. Lataro and Octavio have almost caught the Mad Bear. Now just 1.1 seconds behind. And they are there. They're in that lead pack draft. How aggressive does Matt Bear get here to try and pull off the win? Gerald Poole hops to the high side. He is going to let him go by. Slide in line behind him. Could Octavio get his 6th win out of 7 races tonight? Or could Matt Bear pull off the win and secure his championship? We'll find out here in just a few laps. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to take our final commercial break. When we come back, we're taking you to the finish. And we are back as Lataro goes to the lead. Octavio pushes him there. Matt Bear now to 3rd. Brent Mekas in 4th. And Carlos Ruiz all alone in 5th. Worth noting that Mekas and crew are gaining on that lead pack at the moment, but they're 18.25 seconds back. It's unlikely they will be able to catch up. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday night as XCAL returns to Bristol Motor Speedway. High-speed, short-track racing and tempers will flare. Lataro and Octavio now have help with Jose Godino right behind him. The Mad Bear sits back there at 3rd. John Friley in 6th. Gerald Poole in 7th. Also in this lead pack. This would be one of Gerald Poole's best runs of the season. Jose Godino was also looking like he was going to pull off a top 10, possibly a top 5, until a mistake on pit road meant he had to go back. And it definitely cost him, putting him back in 12th. Scott Gilliott looking at a career-high 9th place finish here tonight. Potentially 8 if he can get past Joe Campbell. The leaders will have to deal with the lap car of Nick, the college kid Seams. Nick currently in 11th place. Lautaro has yet to win this season, multiple top 5s. 5 top 5s and 10 top 10s. Lautaro could finally get to XCAL victory lane here tonight. The college kid slips in line into that lead pack. Matt Bear starting to look on the high side on Jose, trying to find a way to get him back up, get himself back up into the fight for the win. Matt hopping to the high side now. The college kid hops up top. Nick losing a little bit of ground. Looks like Matt's going to push Jose through. Matt now looks to the high side on Jose. We've seen a lot of folks go high, make that high side work even all alone. Tries to get the side draft off of Jose. Matt Bear has 5 wins so far this season. Could tonight be his 6th on the road to his championship? Matt Bear so far has been unable to get around Jose Godino. He's going to get some help from the college kid. However, it is allowing Lautaro and Octavio to pull away. Matt finally clears, drops down in front of Jose. But were Lautaro and Octavio able to get far enough away? Does not appear so. Matt reeling him back in. Scott Gilliant has closed up the gap on to Joe Campbell. That is the battle for 8th place. He's caught him, but does he have enough to get around him? The Mad Bear back in their draft. 25 laps to go, coming to 24. And the Mad Bear has caught back up. Brent Mekas sitting in that pack back in 4th place. Another great run for Mekas tonight. Brent Mekas less than 100 points behind Jeff Edgar, who is 6th in points. Mekas may close that gap up quite a bit as Jeff Edgar is back in 10th. Worth reminding everybody with 10 laps to go, if the caution comes out, there will be no more waiver rounds, and at 5 laps to go, there will be no more cautions. Scott Gilliant still trying to find a way past Joe at the moment. Nick Seams and Jose Godino currently battling for 11th place. That is a battle for position and may come down to wherever Gerald Poole and John Friley go. Nick finally clears Jose Godino, moving himself back into 11th. 20 laps to go. Carlos Ruiz still holds on to 5th place, but the leaders are about to catch him. Carlos will drop in line, have a little drafting help to the end of the race, and looks like he will come home in 5th. A top 5 finish for his first XCAL race. That is an impressive run. Lautaro has had multiple podium finishes this season, right behind Octavio Rondoletto. Will the reverse be true tonight? Matt Bear still lurking back in third. Does he have anything for the two teammates ahead? The college kid still sitting directly ahead of Jose Godino. Joe Campbell still able to hold off Scott Gilliott for the moment. "15 laps to go for Lautaro. Carlos finally slides in behind Matt Bear. Will he hang out there, or will he help the Matt Bear make the move at the end of the race? Gerald Poole still right behind John Friley. Two different battles going on in this group. Jose Godino still trying to battle with Nick, the college kid. Gerald Poole trying to find a way around John Friley. Meanwhile, Lautaro continues to click away the laps, looking for his first ever XCAL victory. Octavio directly behind with 5 wins out of the last 6 races. The Mad Bear right behind him in third with 5 wins this season. Next time by, if the caution were to come out, there will be no more wave rounds. That will leave only 4 cars on the lead lap at the end of this. Lautaro, Octavio, the Mad Bear, and Brent Mekas, the only 4 cars on the lead lap, and what a run for Brent Mekas. Rumor has it there will be some Brent Mekas merch on the XCAL web shop in the very near future. The Mad Bear looks to the high side. 10 laps to go. There will be no more wave rounds. Matt has no help. Lautaro moves up to the high side. Matt tried to look 3 wide. Matt drops down to the bottom behind Octavio. Octavio now has the nose ahead. It is a drag race down the back straightaway. The lap car of Nick Seams goes to the high line. No, I'm sorry, that is Nicole Kriesel. Goes to the high line to let the leaders by. Lataro able to stay side by side with Octavio for a couple of laps, but the Mad Bear pushes him just ahead. And Matt's going to make it 3 wide. Down the front straightaway, Matt Bear to the middle for the lead. Octavio on the bottom is now going to get help from Lataro. Does Matt have enough of a run here? Down the back straightaway, Octavio's nose is ahead into turn 3. The Mad Bear loses ground. Matt trying to build a run, find any way around. Next time by, they will get green, green, green. No more cautions. Matt dives down to the bottom, back on the inside, right behind Lataro. Octavio on the high side. Oh! Matt and Octavio get together, a little bump. Octavio manages to save it. He's going to try and fight back. Green, green, green. There will be no more cautions tonight. A very tame race has turned into a very wild final 10 laps. Lataro and Octavio have the Mad Bear. Holy cow, Matt's out of shape. They touch again. They keep banging doors. Now it's getting rough. Lataro is checking out. Matt Bear and Octavio are in the wall. We will not have a caution. Lataro may run away with this one. Octavio is rolling. Matt is rolling. 4 laps to go. Let's take a look at this. A little bit of a bump into Lataro as they go through 3 and 4. Then the bump. Matt bumps him again, and then it gets rough. I'm gonna imagine both drivers will be called to the hauler after the race. Three laps to go for Lataro. Lataro's lead now 19 seconds and growing. Brim Mekas just went past Matt Bear to take third. John, maybe. Brent Mekas now pulls up into third. Octavio in second. Lataro, that big lead, as he gets the white flag one more time around for Lautaro. Multiple top 5 finishes. Multiple podium finishes right behind Octavio Rondoletto. But finally tonight, Lautaro is headed to victory lane. After a wild final 5 laps, he finally does it. Lautaro will win at Kansas. And Brent Mekas pulls off second place. He has gotten past Octavio Rondoletto. Octavio comes home in third. And get this, Carlos Ruiz ends up fourth as Matt Bear, his car has died. He is trying to roll across the line. Matt Bear will come home in ninth. What a finish! Lautaro is pushing his teammate back to the front straightaway. That car is way torn up. Hopefully we'll get a word here in a few moments with Octavio. Hopefully Matt Bear can keep it PG. Let's see. Matt, that last few laps got a bit rough, buddy. Well, well, you still managed to pull off a top 10, still managed to close up the points. I think you're going to have it locked up next week, buddy. Great job.
On them. It is what it is. I'm better than them. They can't do nothing about it unless they wreck me.
Well, buddy, great job tonight. Great comeback despite the wreck, and good luck for the remainder of the season.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry, we did not mean to have Matt muted there, but let's talk to third place, Octavio Rondoletto. Octavio, you managed to come home in third despite it looked like your engine died.
That's better for me.
It definitely is. I'm going to go ahead and pull, since you have to translate, I'm going to pull Lautaro down real quick so we can get him done as well because he finally got to victory lane. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got Lautaro down here, and congratulations, Lautaro. It's long overdue that you get to victory lane.
Felicitaciones, Lauti. Felicitaciones, Lauti. Tuviste un poco de tiempo para llegar a victory lane, pero te felicito.
Muchas gracias, Duke. La verdad, tremenda carrera, tremendo final.
He says, thank you so much, and the end of the race was wild. He's really excited.
Well, I gotta say, you two are really tough to beat at a track like this, man. Great job by both of you, and congratulations to both of you tonight.
Thank you so much. We're going for the next one as well.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be up there fighting for it, man. Great job tonight to both of you.
Thank you.
And finally, second place finisher Brent Mekas. Brent, we had to do it a little bit out of order, so tonight you get the final interview, buddy. But congratulations, man! A podium finish tonight. Much less that last 10 laps. You've been up in the top 5 all night. You were sitting in 4th, but that last 10 laps really helped.
Yeah, I try to save fuel like them. I mean, I ran out coming to the line, like I was a half lap short, and I was trying. I just can't save fuel like them. I needed to duck into the pit when Matt did earlier on to get back on the same pit cycle as them. But they got something up their sleeve that lets them save all that fuel, man. I either needed a caution or have them all 3 wreck, which they almost did.
Well, 2 of them did.
So I mean, I'll take the second. I'll take sliding into second place.
Man, we talked before the race. Your season has just been getting better and better. You're going to get a huge points boost tonight, and just an awesome way to come home.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. I mean, it was a fun race. It was a long race. I'm happy to be here. I finally got my first podium in XCAL.
Oh man,
Excited.
It is long overdue. Obviously, a great season and a great finish. Congratulations, Brent.
Hey, thanks, Doug. You guys all have a good night out there. Thank you, Aaron, XCAL, for putting everything on. It was a great show.
Well, a very unhappy Matt Bear came home in 9th place. Octavio Rondoletto and Lataro 1st and 3rd. What a wild finish to the night. I don't know what else to say. It was definitely an exciting finish to the night, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow night for Nowski. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.